Imagine standing inside a torrential downpour without getting a single drop of water on your skin. Now imagine that rain is actually human rudeness. Most people spend their lives soaking wet and cold, but today I am going to teach you how to build a mental umbrella that is completely impenetrable. This is not about growing thick skin or ignoring people. It is about a specific psychological trick that fundamentally changes how your brain processes social hostility. If you have ever lost sleep over a comment someone made at work, or felt a sting of rejection from a stranger, your brain is functioning on an outdated operating system. We are going to upgrade that software right now. Welcome back to the channel. We have all been there. You are having a perfectly fine day until someone cuts you off in traffic, snaps at you in a meeting, or leaves a passive-aggressive comment on your post. Suddenly, your heart rate spikes, your face flushes. You spend the next 4 hours rehearsing the perfect comeback in your head. Why does this happen? Evolutionarily, our ancestors relied on social cohesion for survival. A rude remark was a signal of social exclusion, which meant death in the wild. But in the modern world, this biological response is a massive bug in our code. We are reacting to a grocery store clerk's bad mood as if it were a predator trying to exile us from the tribe. To stop feeling hurt, we must first understand the concept of the mirror of projection. Psychology tells us that when someone is rude, they are not actually interacting with you. They are interacting with a version of themselves they cannot stand. This is the foundation of our strategy. We are moving from being a target to being an observer. When you realize that rudeness is a confession of internal pain, the sting disappears. But how do we apply this in real time? How do we stop the visceral, physical reaction before it takes over our entire afternoon? That is what we are breaking down today. To master this, we need to look at the gap of interpretation. Between the moment someone says something mean and the moment you feel hurt, there is a tiny window of time. Most people skip this window and go straight to pain. The trick is to expand that gap. Think of it like this. If a person speaking a language you do not understand starts shouting at you, you might feel confused or even amused, but you would not feel insulted because you cannot attach meaning to the words. The pain of rudeness comes entirely from the meaning you choose to assign to it. When someone is rude, your brain usually assigns the meaning, I am not respected, or they think I am incompetent. This is where the psychological shift happens. Instead of assigning a meaning about yourself, you must assign a meaning about them. This is called external attribution. Instead of thinking, why are they doing this to me? You must think, what is happening in their life that makes them feel this is necessary? This shift moves the processing of the event from your emotional amygdala to your logical prefrontal cortex. You are effectively short-circuiting the stress response. Research from Stanford University shows that when we practice cognitive reappraisal, reinterpreting the intent behind an action, our cortisol levels remain stable. You are literally changing your body chemistry by changing your thoughts. Let us look at a practical example. Your boss criticizes your work in front of the team. Your natural instinct is shame. But if you apply the trick, you look at your boss and see a person who is likely under immense pressure from their own superiors, someone who lacks the communication skills to lead effectively, and someone who is using aggression to mask their own insecurity. Suddenly, you do not feel hurt. You feel a sense of distant pity. You have moved from the victim chair to the therapist chair. This does not mean you accept the behavior, but it means the behavior no longer has the power to damage your emotional state. You are now operating from a position of power. This is the difference between being a reactive person and being a proactive person. One is controlled by the environment, the other controls their internal response to it. Now we reach the core of the psychological trick, the Non-Personalization Protocol. This is the ultimate shield. To never feel hurt again, you must embrace a radical truth. Nobody is ever doing anything because of you. Even when they are screaming in your face, it is a byproduct of their own history, their own traumas, and their own current stress levels. If you were replaced by a different person in that exact moment, the rude individual would likely behave the same way. When you truly internalize that rudeness is a them problem and never a you problem, you become untouchable. This is the climax of our mental transformation. Imagine a person throwing a ball at you. If you stand there, it hits you. If you step aside, it flies past you and hits the wall behind you. Being hurt by rudeness is like catching the ball and holding it against your chest. Non-personalization is simply stepping aside. You let the words fly past you. You observe the ball hitting the wall. You might even remark on how fast the ball was moving, but you do not feel the impact. This requires a high level of self-awareness. You must be so secure in your own self-definition that no external data can overwrite it. If I tell you that the sky is bright neon green, you do not get angry or hurt. You just think I'm wrong or perhaps having a bad day. Why? Because you are certain the sky is blue. You must have that same level of certainty about your own worth. When someone's rudeness implies you are worthless, you should view it with the same objective detachment as the green sky comment. It is simply a factual error on their part. This is the moment where you reclaim your peace. You realize that you have been giving away your power for years, letting strangers and colleagues dictate your mood. No more. By using the Non-Personalization Protocol, you are closing the door to your inner sanctuary and locking it from the inside. You are the only one with the key. This is true emotional freedom. Applying this trick takes practice, but the results are immediate. Start small. The next time a stranger is rude to you, instead of reacting, perform a mental audit. Ask yourself, what must be going wrong in their day for them to act this way? Then consciously wish them a better afternoon in your mind. This is not for their benefit, it is for yours. It reinforces the idea that you are the one in a position of abundance and they are the ones in a position of lack. You are the one who is calm, and they are the ones who are struggling. Over time, this becomes your default setting. You will find that you have more energy because you are no longer wasting it on unnecessary emotional battles. Your relationships will improve because you will stop taking things personally and start responding with clarity instead of defensiveness. You move from a state of fragility to a state of antifragility, a concept popularized by Nassim Taleb. In an antifragile state, you don't just withstand stress, you actually get better because of it. Every rude person becomes a training partner for your mind, a chance to flex your calm muscles and reinforce your psychological shield. You begin to see the world differently. The noise of human interaction becomes a fascinating study in behavior rather than a minefield of potential pain. You are finally free to focus on what actually matters in your life. If you found this psychological breakdown helpful, hit that like button so more people can find this mental shield. We live in a world that is increasingly loud and often unkind, but your inner world does not have to reflect that. By mastering the mirror of projection and the Non-Personalization Protocol, you are taking back control of your life. Subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind and practical strategies for a better life. Remember, the way people treat you is their path, the way you react is yours. Do not let someone else's darkness extinguish your light. Keep practicing, keep observing, and stay grounded in your own truth. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Keep building that umbrella and stay dry out there. Your mental health is the most valuable asset you own. Protect it with everything you have. I believe in your ability to transform your reactions into responses. This journey is worth it. Stay mindful, stay strong, and I will catch you in the next one.